Okay.
I have no idea what's on the back of this card. I cannot even begin to guess what the answer to this question would be. Which book of the Old Testament mentions dinosaurs?
Oh, no.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm David Bowden, and I have a good friend with me here, Daniel Day from our Daily Bread Ministries, and I've invited him to play a little game with me. If you can see it, it's called Bible Trivia, the game where trivia is not trivial. And I'm very excited to break this game open. I've never played it before. I've only looked at a few cards, and I've gotten rid of them, so we're not cheating, and we're just going to kind of see.
Let's do it.
May the luckiest person today win. Here we go.
All right. The best cards.
All right. So just to explain the rules a little bit here, there are 7 levels of the rainbow here that we get to climb up.
Probably the Noah rainbow.
The Noah rainbow. Yeah,
promise.
I think so. So
Yeah.
do you already get a point for that? No, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
sure.
No. You get one right, you move up. It's kind of like Trivial Pursuit for the Bible. So it'll be interesting here. Okay. First question in the category of wisdom.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
Fill in the following blank with one word. Faith, if it hath no works, is blank.
Nothing.
Ooh, nothing.
Or dead.
Or dead. I will accept both, but dead is what is on the card. And just bragging rights, what book of the Bible?
That would be James, right?
Very right. You want to go for chapter?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to go with chapter 1.
Oh, so close. Chapter 2. But it is a point. That is correct.
But did James have chapters and verses at the
no,
beginning?
he didn't.
See? So there we go.
You basically win the whole game now. There you go.
So
Faith without works is dead. One tier,
One
you're
tier, here we
up.
go.
There we go. He's up 1 point. All right. Bring it on.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Ready? Actually, the answers are on the back.
Oh, yeah. My eyesight's terrible,
That's
so
why,
you're probably going to be fine.
I see why you're sitting there. A woman once said to Jesus that even the dogs eat crumbs from their master's table. She meant that even though we are all sinners, we should not be afraid to do what?
This is funny because this is like an interpretation question.
Oh, yeah. It's already interpreted.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I actually preached a whole sermon on this just a few months ago. So I'm like, this is a kind of a subjective answer here. So even though we're sinners, we all have the right to, or
no, we should not be afraid to do what?
I guess if I was going to guess what this card would be saying, it would be we should not be afraid to come to Jesus or ask for forgiveness or be a part of his family or something like that.
Okay.
What's it say?
I mean, I don't know how we vote if you get it right or not, but it says ask Jesus' help.
Ask for help. Come to Jesus?
Yeah, okay. I'll give it to you.
We give it?
Yeah,
Okay,
go for it.
I'll take it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you were generous with my first one. So
There we go.
Yeah.
Generous. You did say dead, by the way, so you got it correct. Okay, another question.
Okay.
Here we go. All right, now we're going up to the New Testament. This is cheating. I got you the easiest card ever
Oh,
here.
great. Way to set me up for failure.
Yeah, you should fail if you miss this one. Who are we to remember when we read the following verse? This is my body given for you. This do in remembrance of me. You have to get this right.
Yeah, so Jesus.
Jesus has to be the answer, or this game is
Yeah,
being thrown
there
away.
we go.
Man, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
That's-
take it,
that's-
though.
That's
I'll
guest
gladly,
grace right
I'll gladly go to purple on
Okay.
that question.
All right. I better have a similar one here.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
New Testament as well.
Okay.
What was the crown made of which they put on Jesus
okay.
before crucifying him?
I think it was like spaghetti or no.
That was it.
No, it's a crown of thorns.
Yeah,
crown of thorns.
So-
What is there? I actually haven't thought about that. Is there any biblical theology significance to thorns? Is that like the fall, like thorns and thistles or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. There is a theme of thorns in the Bible.
Yeah.
Because beginning of the scriptures, the things that kind of grow up after the fall
That's
that
right.
make labor hard.
Yeah.
And then there's the briar. So in Judges, there's this really weird parable about a king, and the people want to find a king, and it's actually all about trees and plants. But they go to the olive tree and ask, and the olive tree's like, "I got to make olives. I can't be your king." And then they go to the vine or the fig tree, and the fig tree's like, "I can't be your king. I've got to do figs." And then they go to the vine, and it's like, "I make wine and grapes. I got to do that." And then they go to the briar, and the briar's like, "Sure, I'll be your king, but if you ever go against me, I'll completely wipe you out."
Whoa.
And it was a critique of Gideon's sons who wanted to be king. And in fact, he names himself Abimelech, which is son of the king, even though his dad wasn't king. So there is like a theme in the scriptures of thorns being like the opposite of God's best. And it would make total sense if that's what's happening in this, that Jesus would like put that on himself
Totally.
as the like redeemer of even thorns.
Redeeming all the bad kings to be the final good king, and also bearing the curse of the fall on himself. That's pretty cool. I've actually never stopped to think about the significance of thorns. Boom.
Definitely.
Okay, that's cool. Here we go.
Yeah.
How old was Jesus when he stayed behind in the temple while his parents thought he was lost?
12.
12 years old. Boom. Nailed it.
There we go. In Jesus' parable of the talents,
Okay.
how many were given to the first servant at the beginning of the story? 1, 2, 3, 5, or 10?
I think it goes in descending order. So I think the first person he gives it to, he gives the most, then the second most, then the least. So I'm going to go with 5 for the first guy.
Whoa. See, because they try to trick you by giving 10 as an option.
Oh, yeah.
But it is 5.
It's 5 because
Way to go.
he'll double
Yeah.
it at the end of the story to 10. But there we go. Okay, I got through the trick question. I'll take that.
Yep.
All right, let's do another one here. Okay, so we're going to names now, which is definitely not my strong suit. You threw out Abimelech earlier, and I was like, oh man, this guy's going to crush the name category. But all right, here we go. What relative was Lazarus of Mary? So what was the relationship between Lazarus and Mary?
Brother.
Nailed it.
There we go.
There we go. Man, this I was intimidated by this game because I've looked at a few cards and like they were impossible.
The first card you showed me before we started, I was
You were
like half of those I didn't know.
we're just getting lucky here. What do we got? Names,
Wow,
right?
what are the odds? This is
it a Lazarus one or
just here. Name the 2 sisters that Jesus visited in Bethany.
Oh, Mary and Martha?
Yeah.
The problem with that is I can never remember which one like sits at his feet and which one's like always working.
Yeah, but they're also Lazarus's sisters.
Yeah, Lazarus is.
So the fact that those 2 went together.
We were just talking about the meaning of the word Bethany as like the house of the afflicted or house of the poor. It can also I think there's another tangential meaning which means house of figs. But it's amazing. It's like this little like kind of poor area right outside on the outskirts of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And like slums might be too pejorative of a category to call it that, but it's amazing that there's this place outside Jerusalem proper where the poor are, the afflicted are, and that's like Jesus's haven. It's like where he goes like hang out and recover from all the craziness that's happening in the city. He's like, I need a break. Let me go hang out with the poor. And I'm like, I love the heart of Jesus there.
That would be that's totally what he would do though, right? Because he's very intentional about engaging.
Yeah.
But then also very intentional about retreating.
Yes.
And he always ends up hanging out with the wrong types of people. So it would be
probably why he
total
hangs out
sense
with
that
me.
his close friends, right, would be those that maybe others would look past.
That's awesome. Which of these people was a prophet? Daniel, Samson, Zacchaeus, or Zipporah?
Daniel, Samson,
Zacchaeus, or Zipporah?
Whew. I guess they're going Daniel for the second half of the book.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Samson is a judge. Yeah. Zacchaeus was a wee little man
up in a tree.
Up in a tree. And Zipporah is Moses' wife.
Yep.
So I think it has to be Daniel.
Right. You would think so. Now, Zipporah. No, I'm going with Daniel.
Okay, but
but Zipporah's dad was a priest.
A priest of Midian. Yep.
So. Maybe
prophetess.
No, Daniel.
Okay.
I'm just going Daniel.
We're going Dan. It's just Daniel.
Okay.
Just straight up Daniel.
Wow,
Your
so
namesake.
Trying to overthink that.
Yeah, you can't overthink this one.
And
there we go.
I'm to yellow now.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like we're getting. I mean, you're just one behind.
Oh, did I not move up?
No, you should have moved.
I didn't move up.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm up. Should I put myself on the star here? That's cool.
No, I think you should be a green.
Like just on green? This is confusing.
Yeah, I feel like the star should be reserved for either a final question or just where we go.
I think it's just stylistic. Oh, okay. I'm gonna ask this one, not because it's hard, but because it's controversial.
Oh, great.
You ready for this?
Yeah, I'll find out.
Because I'm going to look. Yep. Okay. Very good. Okay. So under Old Testament law,
oh gosh,
what percentage of a man's wealth given to God was called the tithe?
So traditionally people think of the 10%.
Right. Which is the answer on the card.
Okay, cool.
But
But if you add up all the different things, it's like 30-some%
Yeah.
or something like that by the time you get it.
Right.
And then even the way like the tithe is brought in is something that we like all share together
Yes.
and celebrate together by consuming this feast or meal or whatever,
Yes.
versus something that's like we deposit
right.
toward the church. Or
It was one of my favorite passages when I read this thing about the tithe, where it's like, and bring a tenth.
Yep.
And you come together and you can buy the best food with that money, your favorite wine with that money, and have a big party.
Yep.
And then every third year when you bring in the tithe, give that money to the poor.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is not what I grew up hearing
No,
about
not
the
at all.
tithe. So it was a softball question, but I wanted to be able for both of us to stand up
Yeah.
on that soapbox real quick.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, bring it on.
Is it my turn? Yeah.
It's your turn. Oh, you got to move up to orange.
Oh, yeah, that's
okay, you're one away from winning.
Oh.
Oh boy, do we finally have a smoker?
No, you should get this one.
Okay,
You should get it.
All right.
But it is truly geography and history
Oh
mixed.
boy. Oh no.
So here we go.
Oh no.
In which of the following places did Jesus never spend any part of his life?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Bethlehem,
Definitely not that one.
Rome,
Okay.
Egypt,
Yeah.
Nazareth,
Uh-huh.
or Jerusalem.
I'm gonna go Rome. Final answer. Lock it in.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, he never made it to Italy.
Yeah, nope.
Me and a friend were just talking about this yesterday, actually, that the only international trip Jesus goes on is to Egypt.
Yeah.
And it's like Egypt's like this place of refuge for the people of God throughout time. And they're like brought in kind of against all logic into the family of God. And Jesus like goes and stays with them and like finds refuge there.
Yeah.
And then it's just crazy to think
Yeah,
about how
as a
Egypt
ki-
ties
as a
in.
baby,
As a baby.
too,
Yeah. And
right?
like
And
probably learn to walk there.
Yeah, probably a couple years.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, Egypt. All right, I'm on orange.
Yeah.
We're both on orange. I cannot believe this is a question.
Oh, great.
Old Testament.
Okay.
I have no idea what's on the back of this card. I cannot even begin to guess what the answer to this question would be. Which book of the Old Testament mentions dinosaurs?
Oh, no. Okay, so I'm going to guess
Okay.
that we're going Job.
Okay. Like Leviathan or something?
Maybe Leviathan.
Okay.
Yeah. But just give me a second, just to make sure.
Let me, I don't know if this is a hint or...
Okay,
or-
okay.
Answer this the way you would actually answer it. Don't try to guess what's on the card.
Okay.
If somebody came up to you on the street and said, "Hey, where are dinosaurs mentioned in the Bible?" What would you say
Yeah.
to them?
Honestly,
Yep.
they're not.
None.
Really?
You got it. No, it is a trick question.
That's funny.
Daniel Day.
Well, because there are a lot of things
There you
out there
go.
about, but you have to do some work.
That's right.
To try to make it say that.
Oh
So,
man.
anyway.
Well, we give our guest the first
Dun,
turn.
dun, dun, dun.
You got a clean
So I get
sweep
to go.
of the rainbow. No misses. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm
I
so
appreciate
proud of
this.
you. Where can people find you?
Yeah, I mean, our website's a good place to start, especially because we've designed the homepage so that if there's something that's really on your heart, you're feeling, you're wondering about, you're thinking about, you can fill it in there on the front and hopefully find some helpful content to connect with God.
And that's
So,
reclaimtoday.org.
Yep, reclaimtoday.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us, playing
Thanmes for letting me come.
my
This is
fun
great.
little
This was
game
fun.
here. This was fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to
Do
do
it
this
again.
again sometime. Hopefully I'm hoping some harder questions next time. These
They are
softballs.
there because again,
They are
first card
definitely
you
there.
showed
I've
me-
seen them.
Yeah, that's right.
But this was really fun. Thank you all for joining us. And hey, maybe we'll see you next time I get a friend to play a game with me.